Hello everybody, welcome to Magical Maiden's Vlogs. I'm Magical Maiden. So today I have a few things. I have some updates. One of them is I got these cool pendant trays from Amazon because I wanted to do some jewelry tutorials and I had some ideas, and I did reach out to BB Crafts where I usually get things like that, but they weren't looking for anyone to do a review right now. So I went ahead and ordered something from Sunny Clue on Amazon, and that's one of the brands that BB Craft actually has. So I was familiar with their products, and I'll put the link below this video if you're interested. Oh crap, I dropped one. Anyway, I'm not going to show you each one individual, but they're about 25 millimeters. I typically like 50, and see, they don't come with glass cabochons though, so you'd have to like order glass cabochons, the round 25 millimeter ones. So it comes in a case. They'll be in this bag, but I just dumped them in there. So anyway, look, you could look in my jewelry tutorial playlist, and you'll see the this video might be out before I post that video. So just check back if you want to see each individual one, okay? So now the window's open. It's a beautiful day. It's a partly cloudy day though, but it's a nice breeze, and you're going to hear noise because my sister and her husband are outside next door. They live next door and they're gardening. And my husband's outside putting a lawnmower together for them that they just got. So you're going to hear some talking. There's nothing I can do about that because I'm not shutting the window. So what I have is, so there's some updates about Dancing Donnie. Now he just pulled out. So remember I told you he was been here, and his my last one. If you didn't see my last one or any of the Dancing Donnie ones, go ahead and look in my vlog playlist, my Everyday Vlogs playlist, and you'll see all the, if it says about my neighbor's crazy son, or updates on my neighbor's crazy son, you'll see that, and those are the videos to watch, okay? So it was probably the last 4 or 5, I don't remember. Hey Magic, he's sitting in the window right here. So anyway, what happened was, he's been here. My last video, if you didn't see it, go watch all those before you watch this, but you better come back and watch this. What happened was, he came here. He's been gone because remember he was arrested and all that jazz, and he was only here for like a day or two and then he left. Well, she went away on vacation because her other son was here visiting from another state, and he treated her, I guess, to an early Mother's Day present to go on a cruise for a week. So they left, and the very next day he arrived, and he never left, and he brought a homeless chick with him, or a woman. She looked older. And anyway, that I'm not going to repeat that. If you want to know about that whole part, go look at my last Everyday Vlog. It's in there. So what happened was, we were like, oh no, it's going to start. Because you remember, he has a trial because he violated his probation. So he has, I also told this in the last video, but he has a trial May 12th because he had a court date for a criminal indictment. And then after he had that court date, I guess he wanted to take it to trial. So they updated his public thing, you know, because when you get arrested, it's public. And it said something like he has a I'm trying to think of the word, revocation of probation, and also a regular trial. So both of those things are happening at like 8 o'clock on May 12th. So they don't usually update it that day. Sometimes they do later on, but sometimes it didn't update till the next day later. So it depends on how fast they are around here. So anyway, we'll find out. I know he's going to get jail time or mental hospital time because he's not right in the head. So anyway, I'm just going to hop into what's happening. If you want to know what's happened in the situation, you got to watch the other ones prior. And I don't want to really repeat myself for the people that already know. So what happened was he's been here since she was gone the whole week. He brought a homeless chick with him. He didn't come out front, but he was drinking. We saw him with one of those half a gallons, those big jugs. You can get them at Aldi's, or like down in the South, you can get alcohol at supermarkets and stuff, but up north you can't. So, like Aldi's has the big jugs of mixed drinks. Anyway, it was a screwdriver, orange juice, and vodka. We found out later. So my sister, she used to ask me to watch her cat and dog when she was gone. But this time, since we're not talking, she asked my sister. So my sister has to work. She's a nurse. She takes care of hospice people and elderly people. And she was busy with a guy that was dying, a patient. So she had to be with him. So it was more or less around the clock, and she had to sleep there. So her husband had to go there and feed him. But she would try to go early in the morning, and the cat's an outside cat, and I explain all that. The dog, her daughter was coming to pick the dog up and bring it to a kennel. It's a fun kennel where other dogs play and all this other stuff. If I was here watching, if I was still talking to her, she would have left the dog, because she knows I play with the dog. I bring the dog over in the backyard, not in the house, because I have cats. And I always take care of her cat, because her cat's always over here. Anyway, so what happened was my sister was afraid to go there, because not only was Dancing Donnie there drinking, and that's not his real name. I explain all that in my videos, but we call him Dancing Donnie. And he was staying in the back mostly, only coming in front to get alcohol, which is how we saw it. He would go. It's funny how he doesn't have money to get his own place, but he has tons of money to go to the store like 5, 6, 7 times, bring back alcohol and some other groceries, I guess, for the girl. And I don't know if there's something going on with those two, because let's face it, he ain't gonna get any other way. He really isn't. There's nobody that's gonna want him. So what happened was he's been pretty much staying in the yard. Okay, so my sister didn't like it that he was there. And it was funny. His sister came back and dropped the dog off the day before the mother was coming back on a Saturday. And my sister was like, oh no, because now I got to let the dog out. And they all kind of use the mother there. The daughter just takes all her groceries, and she gets mad about it, but nothing ever gets done. And don't think I sit there and watch this. It's across the street, and I have windows, and it's right there. Plus, you want to keep an eye, and I have security cameras, so you know what I mean? You can't help but see these things, because unlike other people, my husband and I review footage of a security camera. Plus, if you watch my paranormal vlogs, you'll know why I review my security camera. Okay. So the night before his mother came home, he'd been drinking. We saw him come back with more alcohol, and for him and the homeless woman. And see, at night, they would come in the front and go sleep together in the car. So they had to be doing something, because let's face it, I mean, you know what I mean? But I don't know. We assumed that she didn't know that there was a homeless person staying there, or that he wasn't here. But, all right, so now she comes home on a Sunday afternoon, and my sister's like, oh, she's going to be mad that he's there and he had a homeless woman. Not to mention there's the pool cover there that was covering the pool until it's time to open it. Okay, because even though we live in the South, we still get change of seasons. We get a winter, okay, but it's mild. It's not like up north. So first my sister said, look, I can't do this anymore because I work too much, and me and my husband, we don't feel comfortable, and I know I have a problem son, okay? She goes, but I don't feel safe with him. And he brought some homeless women. She's like, oh, I know he's here. I told him he could stay and barbecue. And it's like, so she knew. She left him here after we specifically told her all the time that we don't want him here, especially when she's not here because he runs amok. Luckily, he didn't run amok this time. She goes, well, he's on his medication. And my sister goes, yeah, but what good is the medication if he drinks? She goes, I know, because my son has the same issue. He's not as bad as Dancing Donnie, but he gets violent. My nephew. That's why I'm not talking to him anymore. But he could get pretty violent because he's on medication. But what happens is if he has alcohol, even just one can of beer, he gets all like, "Rah!" He like wants to fight and argue. So my sister says, I know that you can't be on that medication and drink. And all he did was drink the whole time you were away. She didn't say anything. And she goes, and he had some homeless chick here. And she goes, so there was two of them over there and I didn't feel comfortable. She goes, oh, I know about the homeless girl, the homeless lady. She lives in her car and her car broke down somewhere over there. So you let him. But now the homeless lady isn't staying there now that she's home. But that's what she used to do. Her son used to go out there and harass us, scream and curse and stick his middle finger and dance around outside and just be a total asshole. And she would hide in the house, keeping her blinds down and not doing anything. So now she wasn't there. She doesn't have to deal with him. She lets all her neighbors suffer. And I told the story, he harassed the person that lived next door before my sister moved in. I didn't know. I just thought she was weird and rude and not so friendly. I just thought she was weird and not so friendly because she moved in like an October. She was there through November, but come December, I hardly saw her. Instead of going in and out of the house while the dog was at the kennel, she didn't feel comfortable because those two were there. So she would just grab the bowls, bring them home, get them really clean, and bring other bowls there and feed her like that. And then just swap the bowls out every time she had to go fresh water and food. But I also have fresh water in the front and the back for all the cats in the neighborhood, and it's filtered, and I change it regularly in a clean bowl. So she usually comes here and gets my water as well. Anyway, and she likes to hang out in my yard and sleep on my patio furniture, which doesn't bother me. So what happened is she's like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this anymore because I'm working. She's like, oh no, don't say that to my sister. Don't say that. I need you. And my sister's getting tired because she feels like she's just using her. What happened was really, so my sister, was like, I really don't want to do this because she's always using me for things like she had to give her a ride a few times, drop her off, do something. And I'm like, what? It's always like, use me, but don't, always take but never give. So I said, that's it. And I said, it's not my problem. She's never going to talk to me again. And so my sister is like kind of aggravated and she's like, I'm not going to do it. She goes, I love the cat and dog and it's not about the cat and dog. I love the cat and dog. That cat's always over here and the dog is really sweet and a good dog. My sister's husband, just because she was at work, just went over there and fed the cat, put fresh food and water out there. And they went over there and they put big steaks. They didn't even cut it up. And it looked all dried and gross. I don't eat meat. I haven't eaten meat since I was little, so it makes me want to puke just even seeing it. But it was just like this big wad of meat. Now, first of all, she's an old cat. Second of all, she's not a dog. She's not going to rip this whole piece of steak like this. And they threw all of that, like chicken and steak, big. It's like, what do you think? Your cat carries a fork and a knife? So my sister took a picture of it with her phone. She goes, oh, I told him not to feed her because she's an older cat and she has to have some certain food. That was that. And it's like, she's like, well, my sister goes, well, I don't feel comfortable with him. She goes, but he's homeless. He doesn't have anywhere to go. And it's like, that's not our problem. He would have somewhere to go if he stopped wasting all the money. I guess he gets a check for his mental illness every month. And she used to keep it. But he used to yell at her, I want my money. So she's just like, here. So now he wasted it on alcohol and cigarettes and God knows whatever else, you know, and weed because he's been arrested for possession of weed. And so she basically let him stay here. And then he's been here even when she got back. So she's kind of like trying to get my sister to watch the cat and dog. She lets him come. She doesn't care what she puts the neighbors through. Luckily, this time he was occupied with the homeless chick and he was in the backyard. So there was no reason why he should park on the front lawn, but he did it anyway. So he parked on the front lawn. And when he went to go back up, you heard this loud pop, crack. And the only reason why we knew is because we heard, well, look, what the hell is that sound? So we look at the security cam, and here it is. There's a big stump. She had a tree removed last year, and there's a big stump. And he backed over. His whole fender came out. So here's the video. And you saw the pieces flying. It was ridiculous. So my sister said, he broke his whole front fender. And she's like, oh, he's done that before. She goes, yeah, well, he did it because he was drinking. And she didn't say nothing. So what happened was, it's just not right because he's done it before where she let him stay here because she was afraid he'd get arrested again after he was just arrested, but he was let out. He didn't get any jail time. But then the problem with that is, see, he always gets away with it. And then he gets comfortable and he's there for a while and then he starts right up again. Anyway, she's over there now inside my sister's house, so I'm just going to find out. But like I said, this is what happens. So I just fed my cats. What I found out was, I was going to come back, but so what I found out was that so what I found was, you can hear my husband's talking to my sister. I went out in the backyard and over our backyards, over our fences, we were talking. And I found out that she did go over there and she brought her ice cream and a few other things and said, please, please, I have no one to watch my cat. And she's like, please don't do this to me. I need you. I'll put the dog in the kennel, but I really need you to watch the cat. So my sister, I knew she'd feel bad. And my sister loves the cat, and so do I. So my sister only agreed for the cat. She goes, well, I don't feel safe, and I don't need it. I have enough trauma with my own son causing trouble. Then I have to deal. And she goes, well, he only came over because I made the mistake of telling him I'd be away. But you didn't. But you knew. You're lying. You knew because you knew that he had a homeless woman there and you knew he barbecued. See, she lies and she can't keep track of her lies. And if she would only stop enabling her son and put her foot down and say, I'm not going to put up with your crap, and be a little brave and stop feeling bad for him. He's 40 years old. He knows what he's doing. He may have schizophrenia and be like a mental patient, but he knows damn well what he's doing. He's very maniacal. And for no reason, he flipped a switch on us, and I used to talk to him, and he used to come over and talk, even though none of his conversations made sense. Anyway, I just wanted to fill you in on that.